To talk more about the Juneteenth holiday is Brandon Hogan. He's an associate professor of philosophy at Howard University, right around the corner here, and spent some time in the fields of study, including racial justice. Thanks for joining us, sir. Well, let's start with this.
Thanks for having me.
What is some advice that you would offer companies who want to obviously recognize the holiday, but at the same time don't want to say or do something that would be construed as taking advantage of the holiday?
So I think companies need to think about what Juneteenth is, what it's about. So it's a holiday that's commemorating the end of a brutal form of slavery that grew out of capitalism. So I think any form of celebration or recognition that stems from capitalism or stems from a need to make profit is going to be problematic, even though obviously companies exist for the most part to turn a profit. I think there's no set thing that you can do to not appropriate or not to be offensive. I think there's more of a methodology, and the methodology would be just have more Black people in the boardroom, have more Black people in the marketing department, because I think Walmart wouldn't have misstepped had they actually had some African Americans to advise and let them know this was going to be a problematic idea. I mean, so in general, there needs to be, I think, more Black people in these corporations, but especially if these corporations don't want to misstep when it comes to Juneteenth.
Right, and here's my other take on this is, even though it's a federally recognized holiday, I know a lot of employers and employees that work today, so it wasn't a holiday for everybody. Do you think it should be?
I think it should be. I think it should be a day to reflect. And I think that's what we use holidays and days off for. So I mean, some holidays are obviously for celebration, and some holidays are a day of reflection. So I think this needs to be a day of reflection where individuals get to take time off and recognize why they're taking time off. And hopefully they'll be encouraged to read up about Juneteenth, read up about American history and American slavery, and learn something, return to the workplace with a little bit more knowledge and awareness of what's going on, especially for those who are non-African American, for what the African Americans and their ancestors have gone through.
A lot of companies and executives that I've spoken to, they want to reach out and they want to connect, if you will, with the African American community, but somehow they don't hit their target. They don't truly connect. Why do you think that is? And it's not because they're not getting good advice. I'm sure they're surrounded by experts in the organization. Why is it so hard for them?
Well, as I said earlier, there are competing aims, I think. The aim of Walmart is to make money. The aim of Walmart is not to connect with the African American community, to bring about social justice. And so I think it's, even with the experts, the consultants, which can help, I think those efforts are going to come off as disingenuous, because I think African Americans, all Americans know that it's not genuine. The point is to make money. So I think there could be two things. It could be the case that these corporations dig into their profits and give some money to Black communities and give support or something that's more tangible. But I think products, gestures, tweets are always going to fall on deaf ears because it's clearly not genuine.
Yeah, I can hear that your four-legged friend agrees with you very much there. If we think about where this holiday goes in the future, in the next third, fourth, fifth, what would you like to see? Where would you like to see this holiday in the next 5 years? What will we be talking about then?
I'd like to see a few things. This is a great question. I think there should be a national address, right? So on the 4th of July, there's going to be some type of national address. And I think it should be the case that at the state and local level that officials are talking about Juneteenth and talking about the legacy of slavery and proposing, I think, each year something that can be done to address that legacy. I would also like to see the holiday rolled up into a reparations effort. I think it's, again, somewhat disingenuous to recognize Juneteenth as a federal holiday, but not give any, I guess, tangible benefit to the individuals who are celebrated on that day. So if it's the case that at the state and local level, the national level, there's an effort to give some form of reparations. I think the holiday is going to be, I think from a public standpoint, kind of a waste of time. I think for those African Americans who have been celebrating Juneteenth right before 2021, it's still going to be meaningful. But I think it can only be meaningful in the public sense if it comes with reparations.
Yeah, I feel like, symbolically we've sort of done the right things, but there's still so much more education that is needed on this topic. Professor Brandon Hogan, really appreciate the time on this important topic, and we will have you back on the show again very soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.